Hello again, my name is Russell Scott from scottcarvings.com, and I'm going to continue on my carving the funny faces. Today I'm going to try to carve out this is my first round of I'm going to do it's a firecracker with a face of just like somebody would see fireworks going off, and this is my first round of trying this. So this is going to be kind of a semi, what do I call it, experimental kind of, see if I can do a better job than this. I mean, this is okay, but I want to try to do a little better, do the mouth a little open, eyes a little better than that. In the future you'll see some more of my carvings, some more of my expressions. Here's one, I'll get into that one day and do a video of one of these. This one is going to be my next one, actually. And you probably, I don't know, there's kind of dusty here. Mr. Grumpy Pants there. But anyways, like I said, I'm going to try to do it's going to be a firecracker or a bottle rocket, you know, like the 4th of July or New Year's Day. And then what's going to have is sort of like a cone top and a stick coming down. But like I said, this is going to be kind of a sort of an excited face today. And let's see if I get a bigger piece of wood, easier piece of wood. And the first thing we want to do is a square piece of wood. This particular piece I'm using is just shy of 2-inch square. Doesn't really matter. This one here was about 1.5 inches. So it don't make no difference as long as it's square, because the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your square peg, and hopefully that's a square peg. Kind of looks kind of almost like a, well, we'll make it right. We're going to take a square peg and turn it into a 3/4 round peg. I can see the grain going this way, so I'm going to have the nose coming out this way, so I'm going to leave that alone. And so I'm going to circle that. And of course the first step you want to do is to round the corners out, leaving the part where you want to do the nose, where you want to do the face. Oops. Pardon me. And I'm going to try to do this without wiggling the table, because it seemed that when I carve the table it's kind of wiggly. And you can use this is the boring part. Now a lot of people use, this is another one of those do as I say and not as I do. For some reason I have the habit of putting my thumb on my thumb instead of when you should be putting it on the blade. And I think for me I get more wood out of carving, having my thumb on the thumb. The problem is that the thumb that is getting it is going to get tired after a while. So far this is a nice piece of wood. It's a quick, easy piece of wood. And this is the point in the video. I don't know if you want to go fast forward or all the way until we get this square peg back into a round peg, and maybe we can just talk about stuff. I don't know. Again, my name is Russell Scott from scottcarvings.com. Check out my website whenever you can. I have other videos and instructional books there. Okay, make sure you keep the right one. I've been carving since 1999. I took a class from a community college then. As the story goes, whether you want to hear it or not, I don't know, is a year before, when my wife asked I asked her what she wanted for Christmas, and she said just out of the top of her head starting carving kit that came with a book and knife and so on and so forth. So I got that for her, and it kind of collected dust for a year, and it was January the following year that we decided to take a wood carving class. She was kind of more interested in it. I was kind of like, oh, I suppose it'd be all right. I don't know. And so I took a class. It was a 8-week class in which we had 6 characters. And I remember the first one was just this little, it's like a otter or weasel or something. Something that I can carve out and carve probably 3 or 4 out in one sitting today, but then it took the whole week. And the final 2 was a 2-week on a cowboy and one on a Santa Claus. Still got both. I mean, I believe I've improved quite a bit since then, but been carving ever since. Really enjoyed it. You get into not only basswood but bark, and I don't do it too much in my mind kind of went south for a moment here. Butternut. I've tried butternut a couple times. I've even tried red cedar a couple times, but I just like to stick with basswood. No, you gotta be careful. That's going to chip out. I prefer the basswood. Well, like just about everybody else does. And like I said, I've been carving ever since. I've gone to shows, and I decided to get into teaching. Taught beginning wood carving for the first time back in about 5 years ago already. And I thought, well, beginning wood carving would be not so bad, because you're talking to students who don't know anything about carving, so you could say anything and they'd believe you. I mean, of course I wouldn't say anything. I always thought if I taught intermediate, it's wood carvers would think, geez, you're some kind of idiot or something. So after a while, I did start carving, teaching intermediate, and decided to get into the instructional videos and instructional books and so on and so forth. This is going to go to the floor. Goodbye. Okay, we're up to 3/4 of a peg here. Now, you could make this into kind of a caricature. Well, it's going to have a face. It's going to be a caricature. You can have this as a bottle rocket. Have you seen some like 4th of July sales? They have a little bottle rocket, a cartoon or drawing. Some of them might have it sort of a convex or fat. You could do that. Some have a concave. You can carve this in to make it more caricature. I'm just going to keep it round just for the sake of keeping things rolling here. Maybe when I'm done I'll do something different to it. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to, like I did with the other, with the apple, is that I want to get the nose out. And once you get the nose and know where the nose is, everything else just kind of falls into place. So I'm going to fix the eye first. The eye, I'm going to go about 55% up. Let me see if it's gonna. I gotta figure. There's a boy and a big nose. No, let's go about 60% up for the eye. And one good thing about pencil, of course, you can always erase. And he's gonna have a big nose. Now I want the mouth to come out, so we're gonna. When I pull the nose out, I want to make sure I keep some of this wood around the mouth here. And his eyes are going to be up here. Yeah, I think we got maybe just lift it a little. I think that'd be about right. So first thing I want to do, I have to mark where the nose and the eye is going to be. Just going to pull that nose out. But not too much around the mouth there. Be careful. You want to be careful with the mouth. So, you know, one thing I like to do is, just in case if I get kind of a little too wacky with the knife, but just kind of, I'll draw a circle here, say leave that alone. I do that a lot when I'm going to do something really different, is to circle something and write leave or keep your hands off. Or now this is going to end up, we can take quite a bit off here. Yeah, don't mind that right there. This is from like another possible project. I should keep practicing on putting my thumb on the knife and not on my finger. Okay, there's a good start. On the floor. Adios. Let's get that center line back in. Get that big nose. This is basically how I start most all my faces. Now in this case, his eyebrow is going to be a little higher. I'm going to still start with sort of a regular face. We can always bring it up. But I want to at least put the face in for right now. The nose and the face in. Let me redo that nose. Just kind of looking at it kind of through the camera instead of on the wood like I should. Now when I carve out the nose and the eyes, is I always start make sure your knife is away from the nose, not in the nose like this, away from the nose, because this is going to be a pyramid. And what we're going to do is we're going to just carve out some chips here. So what's going to happen is at the bridge of the nose, just imagine how this face is going to be where you start with the bridge of the nose is the deepest part of the face, because that's where the eyeball is. And when you come up, is you bring the blade up as you're coming down and away from the nose, because we don't want to get into the cheek. Same with on this side here. Now you're going to go away from, you're going to be pointing into the eye, away from the eyebrow, and you're going to push down deep, but then bring it up like this. Just like in the nose, you're going to bring it up as you come across, because you don't want to put too much of a dent in there. Same with this way. This way now you're going to be light all the way. Okay, now we're going to finish the chip. We're going to go from here to here. So we're going to go shallow. Now we're going to be pointing in towards the nose, because we were pointing this way with the blade. Now we're going to point this way with the blade. And that should, my favorite word, pop right out. And then here we're going to go parallel with the eye, but we're going to go down deep. We're going to meet this cut's going this way. We're going to meet the cut going this way. And again, that should pop out. So that's what we're doing, is we're actually carving chips. Unsuccessful chips, that is, but do a little bit of cleaning. This is kind of a particularly dry piece of wood. I don't have to worry about it being too clean right now. I mean, there's going to be a lot of other work going on. I'll carve a little bit of that out of there.